Opportunity is the path toward manifestation. And we understand that this journey of manifestation is really tapping into who it is that you truly are and making sure that you are taking the steps that aligns with who you truly are. And that looks like really doing the things that resonate with this true self. Now, as you are on this journey as to discovering your true self and taking the path of, doing the things that align and make the most sense with this true self, it really takes tapping into self-awareness, being mindful about your ego and putting your ego in its proper place and recognizing that though you can often identify with things like, your race, your gender, your skin color, your ethnicity, your culture, that those things aren't in fact who you are. They're just simply tools to get you along this path of truly recognizing who you are and following along with consciousness. So as you recognize that the ego is not who you are, the ego is simply a manifestation of you being in this physical realm, right? The ego is simply a project or a projection of your physical experience here in this world. You know that, that isn't who I am. That is just simply a manifestation of the false self. And though it is not necessarily evil, though it is not something that has no use whatsoever, you have to put it in its place to actually learn to move forward in a way that's more productive, in alignment with consciousness, and in you actually moving forward through this life. Now, it's important, though, to recognize that as you move forward, you are able to see, claim, and walk into the opportunities that are before you in life. Because the trick with life in this world is that we know the universe is infinite. There are infinite paths that can be taken. And that is part of the problem because we know that there are so many opportunities out here, we often get distracted by the opportunities that do not align with who you are. You're often looking at other people and their path and their, spiritual journey and their journey through life. And you're thinking, this worked for them, therefore it should work for me as well. But we should know that really isn't the case. Those are the distractions that are pulling you away from your path. And so you have to be mindful about the fact that you're going to really say no to a lot more things than you are going to say yes to, because there are so many examples of paths that can be taken and that many people are taking. And you take those things in and you look at it and you think, then that might be a way that I should go, right? Because they went this way and it worked for them. Therefore, this should be probably would work for me as well. But that isn't the case. So you have to be really clear that though they are walking a path that may not be really working for them, you have to recognize that this is their path. This is their journey that you are witnessing and experiencing. The only thing to take away from that is the fact that they are courageously taking this journey for themselves. And they may be winning. They may be having experiences that may show abundance and that they are on the right path, but you have to identify that this is their path. The only thing to take from that is that they are doing it. And therefore you can do it as well, meaning you can take your own path. You can be courageous in the journey of your self-discovery, your self-realization. So as to being able to identify true opportunity, and when I say true, I mean the opportunity that truly aligns with who you are and your purpose, you have to first begin with the imagination. The imagination is one of those things that we don't really understand and we don't really dive deep into when it comes to this path of self-realization and manifestation, right? Many people, such as Neville Goddard, Wayne Dyer, these people have explored and taught the importance of imagination, but it really isn't accepted and really received as far as the foundation of your spiritual journey. It's more looked at as something that we play with, something that, if you want to have fun, then use your imagination. But we don't really take it very seriously as a pivotal part of the journey. You have to see that imagination and using your imagination is in fact tapping into your precognitive ability to essentially see into the future. You're seeing into multiple futures and possibilities and potentialities when you do this. And so to be able to really see opportunities, you have to be able to tap into your imagination as far as, okay, this is where I am now. And if I take this particular step moving forward, right, this first initial step or this next step moving forward, then these are the potential outcomes that can happen. So therefore, you are engaging your imagination, all right? You are looking at what is the best possible outcome and what is the worst possible outcome. And now when we say best or worst, we're not saying in terms of good or bad, because that's easy. It's easy to fall into that trap. We're just simply looking at what aligns with what my desire is versus what appears to not align with my desire. Now, when I say appear, you want to be mindful, because this game is really about recognizing this divine intelligence that is within you, this divine wisdom that is within you. And as you move forward and you make decisions as to how you're going to step, maneuver, or what you're going to do next, you have to understand that your divine super high mind, right, your higher consciousness is leading the way. You may not know exactly where it's leading you to, but you have to trust in it. So even when you make a decision, and within your limited ability to see what potentially can happen from a decision, you have to recognize that you have to trust in your higher mind in that decision. So yes, you're going to look at a decision and you're going to say, okay, where I am now, I can potentially see these things happening. Okay, it can go here, which is potentially what aligns with my desires at this moment, or it can go here, which can appear to be the quote unquote worst case scenario of what will happen. Now, the truth of the matter is, no matter what you decide, as long as you make a decision and you move with the intention of aligning and taking action and actually materializing what you desire, you have to trust that either way, in the direction by which it goes, you have to trust that is eventually going to lead you to, or even a better result. Okay. So it can get very tricky. It can be very confusing, I know. But the bottom line is you have to trust in yourself. You have to trust not only in your mental capacity to strategize and figure out what you're going to do, but you have to trust that as long as you keep moving, you will eventually get to the desire. You will eventually materialize and manifest that which you want. Okay. But you have to start with imagining, okay, if I do take this step, this is where it can go. Okay. These are the possibilities where it can go. And that will allow you to be comfortable in making that decision, because the important thing about making a decision is that you're not attached to a particular outcome, but that you're aware that there are infinite outcomes or infinite ways that it can go. You want to be clear, though, that whatever you decide, that it is in alignment with what it is that you want to do. Okay. So the decision in itself must be part of the initial desire. Don't do something or decide to do something that completely goes against who you are. Okay. It is the decision in itself that is the seed by which you are beginning to grow this garden. And so you have to make sure that that decision in itself actually feeds your consciousness, actually allows you to be at a place where you're like, okay, I'm happy with this decision. Whereas you don't want to make a decision that already goes against who you are, thinking that that is going to materialize into something that you want. Understand that whatever you decide at this moment is the beginnings and is going to begin the momentum of process, of progress, of materialization. So if it is starting out from a place of not resonating with who you are, then by no means don't think that it's going to change, that the energy of it is going to change. In fact, it is going to get worse. If you're starting out from a place of not wanting, or not resonating with you, then it is okay to understand that it will continue to not resonate with you as it builds up momentum. So you have to acknowledge that however you see this thing starting out, understand that that is how it's going to also end. Okay, it's going to end with that same energy, frequency, and momentum. So recognize that whatever you do is the beginnings of the opportunity materializing itself. So this all being said, to see opportunities, you have to use your imagination. In order for you to see the opportunities, you have to play the game of understanding where the possibilities can go. And you have to be okay with those possibilities. When you are okay with those possibilities and you begin to move forward in the initial, idea, the initial sight or foresight of a decision, and you make the steps, okay, you have to claim that whatever it is that you are deciding to do, it is in alignment with who you are. You have to make that claim. You have to understand that. Then when you understand that, now that you have seen it, right? You see it in your mind, you claim it, meaning you take the steps, you take the actions. Then you have to walk into that result from a place of recognizing who you are and owning the result as you see it, all right? Or owning the result as you move forward in life, trusting that no matter the result, it will eventually produce the desire that you seek. So you have to recognize that your imagination sets the tone for recognizing what resonates with you, seeing the opportunity, claiming the opportunity, and then walking into the opportunity with faith that it will produce and bear fruit, which is ultimately the bottom line as to what it is you desire, and seeing that what it is that you desire ultimately resonates with who you are. Okay. Now, I know there can be a lot of layers to this and it can seem very complicated, but ultimately you have to trust in yourself and in the process. You have to practice self-awareness, practice your ability to say, okay, this is what I see as far as the initial steps. This is what I see as far as, okay, this thing can create an opportunity for me, right? Can create a particular outcome for me. Therefore, I'm going to claim it. I'm going to claim this thing, this opportunity, and then I'm going to walk into this opportunity with faith and trust that no matter what happens as a result of me deciding to take on this opportunity, it will result eventually in me materializing the goal, me materializing the desire, me materializing the true essence of recognizing that I am the creator, right, of my reality, of my universe. And therefore, this is simply a part of materializing and creating the universe that I desire and that resonates with who I truly am. So to be able to see, claim, and walk into the opportunities is based on you first using your imagination to see that what you initially start with is what you will eventually end with. So you must start first with resonating with who you are, tapping into consciousness, seeing that, okay, if this is what I desire, then I have to start with that intention. I have to start with that clarity. And when you start with that clarity, ultimately it lends itself to building up the momentum of you actually materializing the desire, materializing the truth, okay? Materializing that which you truly, truly want. So it starts with being able to play the game of imagination, but playing it seriously with the understanding that this ability to imagine is really based on your ability to see the future. Okay. But though you are seeing the future can also change based on what you do moving forward, how you walk, how you claim that future potential, how you walk into the result of you claiming that future potential. So it all depends on every moment and walking into each moment with a sense of ownership, walking into each moment with a sense of understanding that what happens or what will happen only depends on who you are and how you are owning yourself in that moment. From moment to moment predicts the eventual outcome of the materialization of your desire. All right. So I hope that helps, because as you go through life and you see that life is all about opportunity, you have to recognize that it's about choosing the opportunities that resonate with who you truly are. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and also get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.